Good morning, California. Good evening, India. Good evening, or Himachal Pradesh. That's the state in India, or I would say, um, yeah, one of the state in India. And good evening, Panchkula. That's the town in India. Welcome to the Friday talk show with your host Rajiv Kulkarni. Every Friday we bring in this global electronics talk show to serve the electronics community so that the engineers, the process engineering people, or the design people, or the quality control, or anyone in the electronics community who would like to avail this benefit from us, that is from Global Electronics, they can do that. They can shoot questions if they have, or they can also participate with their interest of topic that we can bring it on and share with you all. Welcome to the show. This is your host Raju Kulkarni. Today's date is April 11th, 2025. Why I said California is I'm today in beautiful California here in San Diego, and I thought that why not I run the show. And today we started the show early because our esteemed guest they have some tie-up later to this afternoon, this evening actually, in India. And Panchkula is the place where the guest lives, and that is why I said good evening, Panchkula, good evening, Himachal State. Let's continue our show today with the introduction of our guest. And before that, we would like to also say about the topic that we are bringing in today. That is the improved efficiency in electronics manufacturing. How it can be achieved? What are the factors that influences the improved efficiency in the electronics manufacturing? Whether it can be designed for manufacturability, or it can be process improvements, or it can be supply chain organization, or quality control and testing, and so forth. So to speak about that, or to talk about that, or to clarify about the efficiency in electronics, improved efficiency in electronics manufacturing, we have today with us Mr. Yatish Khurana. He is a technology consultant. Just to give background about his resume or his profile. He has more than 32 years of electronics manufacturing experience in various industries and fields. It can be ferrites, it can be mobile phones, mobile semiconductors, solid state media and capacitors, and in all kinds of areas in the manufacturing field, whether it can be production, quality, process control, development, and overall plant management. He's a Lean Six Sigma black belt holder and a lead auditor of ISO 9000. He has been associated with various large companies. Just to name few, Lava International, who are one of the leading Indian mobile manufacturers. And also he was associated with the Moser Baer, who manufacture external drives. And then, of course, Cosmo Ferrites is one of the leading magnetic components, or the soft ferrite manufacturer in the state of Himachal Pradesh in India. And of course, Continental Device Industries Limited, who are again a semiconductor manufacturing company. And he served these companies in various capacities. And now he is a freelance consultant himself, and he works with all the huge corporations in the electronics manufacturing industry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Yatish Khurana from Panchkula, Himachal Pradesh. I guess it's in Himachal Pradesh. He will correct me. India. Welcome to the show, Yatish. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Rajiv. And at the outset, let me say welcome to the people in America and also to my viewers in India. Panchkula is actually in Haryana. It's bordering the
Haryana,
Himachal.
sorry. Yes, yes.
So
Yeah,
it's
my
near
bad.
Chandigarh.
Yeah,
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 that's right.
yeah.
It's near Chandigarh.
Okay, thank you.
So
Thank you for correcting that. And also, I want to wish all the people who are joining from different parts of the world. So I forgot to mention good afternoon because there are some people who must be later watching from Europe. So good afternoon to those people who are joining us from Europe. And sometimes what happens that the best part of YouTube podcasting is people join later at their leisure time, and it is not necessary that they have to sit and watch the show, but they can always watch at the later stage. The whole idea is to exchange our knowledge base and what kind of knowledge we can share with them so that they can make best use of the knowledges. So Yatish, let's start with your background, and so let our audience, our people, let them know that uh, 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 how where's you're in this field in the especially on the manufacturing side of it. So let's hear from you a bit introduction of yourself.
sure. I think Rajiv gave a good background about me and he explained my profile. So I have experience in all the fields like production, quality, research, development, process control, process engineering, and plant management. So as Rajiv mentioned, worked with various companies, had a chance to work with a lot of companies and in various fields. So basically, I think so. And all the components also like mobile phones, semiconductors, capacitors, magnetic components, solid state media, which is pen drives, hard drives, and micro SD cards, NSD cards. So I would say the experience has been vast, and we can definitely cover some topics which can be. I think Rajiv gave a fair bit of idea, like DFM design for manufacturing can be helpful, supply chain, and so we can cover some topics today. And although it's a pretty big field, how to improve the manufacturing operational efficiency in manufacturing, but we can cover a few items in this topic.
Okay, great. So basically, um, as the audience, I just want to let you know that we are talking about the improved efficiency. So let's start with how do you define the improved efficiency in electronics manufacturing?
See, Rajiv, so for any manufacturing or at any workplace, so I think in these are three basic characteristics which we look forward to. It's quality, cost, and delivery.
Mm,
So basically to ultimately we achieve this, we customer satisfaction will result.
mm. Yeah,
So to so sorry, uh, 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 am I visible?
yeah. You are. No, no, no problem.
So So basically, to achieve these three things, quality, cost, and delivery, so we need various aspects. And one of the factors which is important is that we look for two areas which cover a host of topics, lean manufacturing and Six Sigma. So if we cover these two, it can tackle all these lot of problems in our manufacturing field.
Mm,
So we'll today basically focus on these two techniques, which
sure.
cover a variety of things, Kaizen, 5S, and a lot of other things also. So
Yeah.
if we look at it, so we'll start with lean manufacturing. What does the word lean exactly mean? Lean means lean manufacturing is a production methodology, which means
Hmm.
minimizing waste and maximizing production. So to eliminate or reduce the waste and to increase the production is basically lean. And then also non-value added activities are eliminated in this process. It aims to improve efficiency and reduce cost. That is the whole purpose of lean manufacturing. So how do we go about achieving a lean company or a lean workplace, so this thing can be applied not only to manufacturing, but it can be also applicable to office area or to any field, whether it's banking, whether it's office or any other field. So manufacturing, all of it's this principle is common to all of them. So, so in the first step of lean manufacturing, the core principles are
Yeah.
value stream mapping. VSM, what we call as. VSM means that when you basically you actually map your process. So how the process takes place, you map it up. You do a micromanagement, you do a micro mapping of each process. Each process is mapped, and then you so what then you try and find out what are the non-value added activities in that. So what is a non-value added activity? Anything which the customer is not willing to pay for it is called a non-value added activity. Now you
Hmm.
concentrate on non-value added activity and you try to find out whether that activity is essential to your process or not essential to your process. If it's not essential, you can do away with it. And how to convert an essential activity, a non-essential activity into a essential activity for which the customer is willing to pay. So anything which gives a value addition is basically what we keep it up in value stream mapping. And the next thing is called as muda or eliminating waste. Now,
Okay.
muda is a Japanese word, which means eliminating waste. So it can be a waste, overproduction can be a waste. Then you have waiting time is a waste. Then the layout may be a waste. So the layout may be such that your layout is actually ensuring that you take a longer time to achieve a particular output. So all these things are known as
Hmm.
wastage. How to curb them up? You can use various techniques like kanban, jit, and other processes to overcome eliminating waste. Then the next step is continual improvement. And continual improvement, one of the biggest examples of continuous improvement is kaizen. So Kaizen is again a Japanese word. So a
Kaizen.
lot of concepts have come in from Japan. And Kaizen is a Japanese word which means that you do incremental improvement and it's an ongoing improvement. So basically, let us focus a bit on Kaizen. What is Kaizen?
Sure. Yeah.
Kaizen is actually made of two words, Kai and Zen. Kai means change and Zen means making it better. So change for better is basically Kaizen. So how do we go about implementing Kaizen in our workplace? And this is true for any office area, workplace, factory, shop floor, everywhere. So
Hmm.
Kaizen is something which means you have to have a complete organization structure for it. So you need to have a facilitator for Kaizen, and each and every area is actually divided into smaller areas, and then you have a facilitator of each area. A facilitator actually is one who trains the people and helps the people how to give the Kaizens. So
Yeah.
anyone having a problem can go to a facilitator, and then he will help it out. So
Yeah.
after facilitator you have a Kaizen coordinator. A Kaizen coordinator has many facilitators in the workflow, in the shop floor or in the workplace. So
Yeah.
basically he is the nodal agency who actually is running the Kaizen show, in the organization. And then you have the Kaizen steering committee. And the steering committee consists of top management. So Kaizen is basically an improvement project. Any improvement project in an organization can be successful if it's top driven. So you need a top management support for it, and you need to know that they are focused on this thing. That is
Hmm.
how it's a top management principle and it is to be brought down. It's not a bottoms up approach, it's a top down approach. Any improvement activity. So for this, the steering committee has to consist of members from the top management who do a periodic review of this and of the kaizens being submitted and also what are the benefits. And every kaizen which is successful is converted into a monetary benefit. Like ultimately, if you save one manpower in a particular process, ultimately how much that manpower is going to cost, that is the saving here. So you convert everything into financial figure and then you
Okay.
portray that this much saving has been done. Okay. So if it is let's say a cycle time reduction, that means that cycle time means you are able to produce that much more. So it's again that much more means that many pieces can be sold. So it's everything is converted into finance, and everything ultimately you say that this Kaizen is resulting in this much saving. And that is how then you come give it a wide publicity in the organization, saying that this much saving has been achieved by X amount of Kaizens. And so, because ultimately any you wanted this particular program to have a wide audience, wide circulation in the organization, and you want more and more people to participate. And that can only be done by wide circulation and showing the success, of a particular movement. So you have to ensure that the buy-ins of all the people have taken, and also the Kaiser movement is driven from the top, and that's very important. It may look simple that okay, the top management, but if he doesn't show interest and if it is his subordinate to work on it, then the thing cannot be successful. So to make it successful, you have to ensure that the top management actually does it.
Okay, that's
Then
great.
you have you have more lean techniques like JIT. JIT is what? Just in time, and this concept is widely used in automobiles. Automobiles like a lot of Honda, Toyota. This concept actually came from Honda and Toyota, and they wish they had a assembly line. So you can't like automobile has what many parts and they are huge parts, and you can't keep those parts in your. You can't have such an inventory in your shop floor. So you have to have just in time. So the before when it is needed on the shop floor, the suppliers actually bring it 50, half an hour before or 1 hour before it comes on the line, so that it's not reducing the inventory makeup or cost. So JIT is widely used for actually minimizing the inventory and waste. And then the last thing in lean is you have to respect the people. You have to empower the people and ensure that everyone is involved in the in this particular program. So this is what is lean concept. So
So, one question comes is when you said about involving people, does that mean that you form an some kind of a quality circle or
yeah,
some kind of activities? Yeah.
yeah. As I said, Kaizen quality circles are some of the tools, and I will be talking about lean tools and techniques, where
Yeah.
you can involve the people around. So what the first thing
Right.
is 5S. 5S. So 5S is again
Why?
a
Yes.
Japanese technology, Japanese word for it. And nowadays 5S is means it's organizing the workplace and improving the workplace, and making it systematic. And nowadays we call it 6S. 6S means 5S from this and plus safety is added into that. So it's called 6S. Then the next step is TPM. TPM is
Okay.
total productive maintenance. So then you have visual management. Visual management, everything is actually displayed, whether it's the particular station, the SOPs, the everything is displayed. Whatever quality programs you're following, whatever sampling plans you're following, everything is displayed over there. You don't have to ask a question. Everything is displayed, So you have to make your shop floor and your office, everything has to be displayed and systematic. Then you have to do standardized work, Standardized work means you have to have SOPs, So you have so every like
Mm.
why do McDonald's taste the same everywhere? They have a SOP in place. So SOP means how to actually make the burger and how to fry the particular this patty and all that. So that is being circulated all over the world. So that is how you are able to duplicate and replicate the same quality and the same whether anyone works for it and any newcomer who comes in reads the SOP, he is able to join, he can understand it fast. Then you have a root cause analysis. Root cause analysis means whether if there is a problem, you actually go to find the root cause of it. What is the reason for it? And then you make a corrective action. The corrective action can be has to be temporary and then permanent. So what do you call it as the 8D approach? 8D means you have 8 disciplines. That is the root cause analysis approach.
Right. Right.
So I'll explain some of the concepts in detail. Like 5S, I will like to explain in detail because it's a very, very basic tool, which an organization should focus on. And anything, I would say, you want to implement any stuff, Without
Hmm.
drivers, nothing can be
So
successful.
now, yeah,
Yeah, please continue. Yeah.
right, right.
So,
Yeah, you explained about various. We have some internet issue.
yeah,
Are you able
sure.
to hear me? Yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure, sure. I'm able to hear you.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so you explained about various aspects of the quality related activities in the improved efficiency in the manufacturing area. What do you think about the automation? Because automation has become a very prominent activity in the electronics manufacturing these days.
I think automation is pretty important, like a lot of processes which are repetitive in nature, you can actually do automation. And this one of the ways of automation is, of course, you can do an automation. You can also do with Kaizen. Also, you can use the people who are working there. They can help you automate a particular process. So they can give an idea how to automate certain processes, and you can buy some automatic machines. So robo and other things, like definitely some of the processes which are repetitive in nature can be automated and should be automated, so that the assembly line or the whatever you are manufacturing, that is, you have less of rejections and less of quality issues and more of output. So automation, is one of the things which has to be focused on today.
Okay, let's take a quick 30-40 seconds break and we'll come back.
Sure.
Welcome back to the Global Electronics Friday Talk Show with your host Rajiv Kulkarni. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the viewers who are watching from different parts of the world. And welcome to the show. And today we have discussed a little bit early because I had to adjust a little bit of time with my guest here. And so we have discussed the first half about different types of quality related parameters or factors that are involved in the improved efficiency of electronics manufacturing. In fact, it's a very generic kind of discussion and very interactive discussion we had pertaining to the manufacturing side of it. And of course, there has been JIT, there has been Kaizen, there has been Kanban, all these terminologies, which very much sounds definitely, which has been derived, which has come from Japanese methodology, I would say, of their way of controlling or the improving the efficiency in the electronics manufacturing. Welcome back to the show, Yatish, after this small break. And yes, please do continue. We were talking about the automation, how important it is in the electronics manufacturing for the improved efficiency.
Yeah, as I said it, as you automation, your pointed out is pretty important, with a lot of processes like in manufacturing, a lot of processes are repetitive in nature. So to ensure that you get the right quality and lesser number of rejection and the good output, automation is pretty important. So that is the importance of automation, and in a lot of activities like some of the molding processes, some of the assembly line processes, and some of the automobile manufacturing and some of the electronics also manufacturing. A lot of processes have been automated. And today that is one of the things which is going to be in future also. Future, the industries are actually doing more and more automation today to ensure that the it's a one-time cost, but the quality defects, the output, and the rejections come down, and the customer is also delighted. I think so.
Okay.
We discussed about lean. I'd like to just take one more technique, and which is nowadays pretty famous and very common, and we hear a lot about it. It's called Six Sigma, and
Yes, Six Sigma.
it was introduced from Motorola, US, and basically, and like Motorola and Juran are like basically the father of basically the Six Sigma concept, And today, this concept is widely used not only in manufacturing but in other industries or in other fields also. Whether it's banking, whether it is any process you can use Six Sigma. What is this Six Sigma? We hear a lot about it. What is that Six Sigma? So it's a methodology, and which is used to improve the business processes and by reducing the defects. So if I take it, defects and errors, how to minimize the defects and error. That is the whole purpose of it. So
Hmm.
minimizing variation and increasing quality and efficiency. This is what is Six Sigma. To the goal of Six Sigma is that you ought to have 3.4 defects per million. That is Six Sigma.
Oh,
So
wow.
so 3.4 defects per million. So any process, whether it's banking or any other process. So if you can do it fast and you can ensure defect-free process, the overall output is very good. The customer is also happy, and a lot of rework is also avoided. So the approach focuses on minimum variability. So minimizing the variability in the process. So consistent and reliable outcomes. So what we call it is basically it's a structured approach. It's a DMAC approach. So DMAC means define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So these are the various steps
Okay.
of cost success. DMAC. I'm again saying DMAC: define, measure,
Measure.
analyze, improve, and control. So you got these steps. So it's basically a project-based approach. So the first thing is that in an organization, if you want to implement Six Sigma, you have to ensure that first the training of Six Sigma is given. So people understand
Okay.
what is Six Sigma. Then you have to ensure that it's a buy-in. It's the concept buy-in. So you have to sell the idea. So that more and more people. It's not that something you can thrust it on people. It may not be successful if you thrust it on people. But you have to ensure that you have a buy-in of the people. So how can that be achieved? You have to take initially some projects for which you have a granted success rate. So that is how the message flows in the organization.
Hmm.
So then you have to identify the projects. The projects which have to be identified have to be the company objects, company important projects, the top management important projects, and this you have to ensure that it's picked up by the people. And it's a cross-functional team. So it's a cross-functional team means that the Six Sigma project cannot be implemented unless you have people from different areas, concerned areas, also ensure you're part of the team. So that is how the success comes. Sometimes you try and do it yourself, but what happens if it of the other guy blocks it, you can't do it. That is why you have to take all of them in the team. And then
Right,
there is
right.
a structured approach for it. So once you have this sort of structured approach, project is identified, and project is identified, team leader is identified, and you have a cross-functional team. Then you have to have a steering committee, and it's again a top management, which has to actually the steering committee or the so it has to periodically reviewed by the top management, maybe weekly or maximum fortnightly. So the Six Sigma projects have to be reviewed by them. So what is the progress? What is the stumbling block? So and how we can help you. And you have to take this ensures that the guys who are working on the project have a continuous focus on it and they are able to work and people also understand this is the priority of the management. And once that is the priority of the management, the other guys also support it, So no one, sometimes your boss may be stumbling block, but if at all the top management is focusing on it, then he will ensure that he will fall in line. So that is how,
Right,
and
right.
then you have devise a Six Sigma program. That means that you have to say that every project output will be that it will result in certain amount of monetary benefit, and that monetary benefit will be vetted by the finance department. So the finance department
Hmm.
gets into the loop, checks the how much saving is calculating, and whether that saving is actually going to be there or not. If that saving is there, then you have to have a complete program, saying that okay, this much saving, this is the reward for it. This much saving, this is the reward. You have to have slabs for it, and the rewards have to be substantial. It has to be mostly in terms of percentage of saving. So that the guys get motivated. It's a people. This project is the collective team effort, and you have to boost the morale of the team. And then boosting the morale of the team is how is it that monetary benefit has to be distributed amongst the people. So you can see if the saving is, let's say, 1,000 USD, and then maybe you will say that 10% will go to the team. So $100 will go to the team out of that. So it is divided
Hmm.
to the team, and the team gets motivated. So you have to ensure it's a top management focus, and this has to be laid down before everything has to be, this framework has to be made and published in the organization, so that people are
Hmm.
clear. It's not that you actually say that it's on an ad hoc basis. Okay, this much saving you're done, we'll give you this one. No, no, no. It has to
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
structured program approach. The Six Sigma coordinate circulates it within the organization that this is the program and this is how it will be dealt with in the organization. So that is how you can make Six Sigma success in the organization. It's a topic on its own and can consume long time. There's a lot of training and all that activity. But I think when you need a breakthrough improvement, that means that it's not a small improvement. You want 50% improvement for Six Sigma project. Like you want the cost to come down by 50%, by 40%. It's not easy. You cannot do it in some other ways. So you need a very very
Correct.
concerted from the team and to achieve it. So it's a Six Sigma which has to be followed and ensured. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent explanation, Yatish. I think you have covered pretty much complete spectrum of the quality as well as process parameters in the improved efficiency in the electronics manufacturing. So coming to your consulting work in right now, you work as a freelance consultant. Can you tell us something about that? How you can help the industry? How you help? How you are helping? How you are helping
Uh, there are I must say there are two ways. I'm
clients?
helping. I'm working with organizations.
Some. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there are two ways. Number one is that I've been taken as an expert with various consulting companies of international brands and all. There are 6, 7 companies who take me as a consultant. So if they have a client and they discuss my profile with their client, and if it suits both of us, then we have a call, and the project can be sometimes a single call based, or it can be spilled over to a month or so, a month or 2 months. Number two is that I work with some organizations directly who want my expertise, maybe in manufacturing excellence or in a particular technology field, or how to improve their processes overall. And so that is how I work with them. So these are two ways I keep working with organizations. And of course, I can also do, if at all needed, some training programs are needed, like organizations like Kaizen, Six Sigma, and other thing on manufacturing excellence. I do that also.
Okay, excellent. So, for the viewers, we are almost now through the time that we conduct shows. Thank you all for joining for today's talk show. This is Global Electronics Friday talk show. Today's timing adjusted per our guest's request, and so we had to run this. We had to do this live podcast a little earlier than the actual timing, but you can always watch it on our YouTube. It will be always there, and please do subscribe to our channel so that we have more more subscribers, more viewership. More viewership means our guest will be happy and we will be also happy. So today's topic was the improved efficiency in electronics manufacturing. Definitely, it is a very important topic in any manufacturing activities. And Yatish Khurana, who is based out in Haryana state, town called Panchkula, and he is a freelance consultant in any kind of electronics or any kind of manufacturing activity if anybody has, and you can definitely find his contact in the description, and otherwise you can always reach out to us, and we will be very happy to give his contact. So if you have any consulting needs about the manufacturing activities. Yatish, before we call it a day or we wind up, do you have any message to our viewers you want to give?
I would like to thank the viewers, and definitely they can, if at all there is any problem, they can get in touch with me or any consulting needs. Definitely I will be available, and you can contact me or Rajiv. Definitely would be I'll be there to help you. If any doubt or something wants to, definitely I can be of help. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yatish, for taking out your from your busy schedule. I know that you had to go to another place, and thank you very much for joining the show and sharing your wealth of knowledge in terms of process improvement in the electronics manufacturing. Thank you all. Thank you very much, and thank you all the viewers for joining the show. And if you have missed it, I will be sharing this in all the LinkedIn groups so that you can watch it at leisure and take your time, and definitely appreciate your timing to watch that, and please do subscribe, and watch out for next Friday show. We'll be talking on FMEA in the electronics manufacturing, and definitely FMEA adds a huge value in the electronics manufacturing, and we will that is failure mode effective analysis in any manufacturing activity. So stay tuned with us, and wherever you are, be healthy, be safe, and be happy. With that, your host Rajiv Kulkarni will sign off today's show, and thank you all, and thank you again. God bless.